going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta!
I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
RBS.
Lovely.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about Judge Dredd. And before we talk about Judge Dredd and before we get to our watch list, I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, my host, Jack.
I'm still Jack.
And for some reason, it just feels like we're not that close together.
Well, I mean, you could be a little closer to me, but you wanted to be all the way over there, so.
Yeah, true.
Fine with me, you know.
Yeah.
I like my personal space.
Yeah. Don't get in my bubble. Don't cross this line. From Night at the Museum.
Oh, don't cross this line.
Yeah.
Don't cross this line with your hand.
Oh my god, I can't believe that you did that.
That's Night Museum too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you talked about that last week. So.
I did say that was on my watch list last
that's
week.
what reminded me of that. So, welcome, join in, sit on down, and thank you for being here. We really appreciate you being here. Be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We really appreciate you doing all that. So you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts for the full-length episodes. If you guys want to see clips, you guys can also check us out on TikTok and on Instagram. And again, be sure to do all that stuff across the board. So if you're new to the podcast, we'll do a rundown of what we'll talk about. So we'll do a watch list, talk about the movie, what it says online of what the movie is specifically about, and then like directors, stars, all that boring stuff, and then talk more in depth about the movie as we go. So buckle up, we're in for a great time with Sylvester Stallone. So got a 90s joint. So that being said, let's kick off watch list.
Sure.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I really only have like one that I sort of looked into like since we last spoke. Like we talked about this on the last podcast, but this is by JK's recommendation, by the way, who could not be here with us today because he had a scheduling conflict.
Yeah.
We couldn't make it work out, but that's okay. But speaking of JK, we do have a couple of his notes here for this podcast.
Yeah, I talked to JK because this was a movie that he wanted to talk about out of the list of movies that we have already. And I was just like, hey, man, since you're not going to be here, I do want to get your thoughts down for it. So I have his notes of what he wanted to talk about if he was here, and then like if it was a rent, buy, or skip. So we'll save that for the end. I asked another friend to come over, and then last minute he said that he had something come up. So it is what it is. But hopefully we can get my friend to come in eventually. So, but you have a movie to talk about.
Yeah, no, it's just real quick. JK recommended Tick, Tick, Boom, which is an Andrew Garfield sort of kind of a biopic of the writer, director, composer of the play called Rent.
Yeah.
And it's basically... Tick, Tick, Boom is also just an autobiography in musical form of his.
Yeah, because I didn't realize that's what it was specifically. I thought it was just like pretty much just like a musical.
No,
they had it as a show, and then now they have it as a movie.
Yeah, so it's a film adaptation of a musical.
Yes.
That was written in the 90s, actually, or yeah. So it's about this guy who's living in New York City. He's trying to make this. He's trying to write a musical because he currently works as a waiter in a diner in New York City. He's barely making rent, and
then he came up with the idea of Rent.
Yeah, then he came. Well, Rent is a sort of a sad musical about. From what I understand, it's about the gay community a little bit because a
'Cause
big
of, like,
plot
the,
point.
the AIDS epidemic. And
Yes,
stuff like that.
yes. So, in this, a plot point of this movie is one of his best friends who he went to school with and grew up with. He finds out that he's HIV positive throughout the course of the movie, and then that inspires him to, because the one that he's writing right now is about like a dystopian future sort of thing where he's trying to make that one big and he's trying to like get it like published or like he's trying to get like or trying to get producers to be able to put it on Broadway so he can start making some money because he spent a lot of time making it.
Right.
And he goes through all this effort and nobody takes it. And he asks his agent, okay, what do I do now? I just spent like 5 years writing this and I was really banking on this to be able to do. He's like, okay, just work on the next one.
Right.
And then sure enough, the next one he wrote was Rent and that exploded.
Like, yeah. I was going to say that took off like a wildfire.
5 years after his 30th birthday in 1990, which is around when the events of the movie happened, he died of a heart attack. So he died very, very young. So he didn't get to see the full extent of how Rent would do.
Yeah.
And this one, I've heard a lot about Rent. I have not seen it, but I heard a lot about it because of my days when I was an actor in high school. So I had a lot of friends who were sort of in that like that super like they were theater people. They wanted to go to New York City. You know the type of personality. So they told me that Rent was really, really good, but I never really got around to being able to see it. And one of my classmates who eventually did go on to New York City, his name he changed his name. His name was Matt, and then he went to Lewis. So he's actors. So he always wanted to star in Rent. So I think he was able to do that relatively recently, or maybe I'm just misremembering. But shout out to you, Lewis, if you're listening by any chance. Yeah, hope you're doing well. So yeah, it was very powerful. Not necessarily for me. I can see where it can hit. It's a very sad movie. Yeah, but I thought it was good. Wasn't the best thing I've ever seen, but Andrew Garfield, it blows me away how he's able to like how his American accent is so good because he's British. He's a British actor, so it's good to see Andrew Garfield being successful in other films besides The Amazing Spider-Man, because I'm sure he gets a lot of like shit for those films because of how like the presentation was. I don't think that those movies are bad.
Well, I mean, like there was a couple times to when after he was Spider-Man that they decided to do like memes about it because like, you know, he was the next Spider-Man and stuff. And so there was one that I remember, it's like him in New York and he's dressed up as like a costume Spider-Man. And so like he's doing like a pose up against like a building for somebody taking a picture, and then it turns out that it was him because like they gave him like $5 and then he takes off the mask and goes like, yeah, like doing a fist pump. And then there was another one when I think it was for SNL or something like that, where he was pretending to be somebody at Comic-Con. Okay. And like, you know, he pretended to be like Spider-Man again, and then he took off his mask, and so he was like asking a question, but it was for like a bit.
I've always wanted to be at Comic-Con in Hall H as Spider-Man with all of you guys. It's always been a dream of mine.
All right.
So thanks for having me.
Or something like that. And so like
was he at a panel or something like that?
No. He was like one of the audience members that came up to the microphone and then like was asking a question.
Yeah, I know. Like so he was at somebody else's panel, not on the
I think it was a bit for SNL or something like that. So it wasn't like that he was actually at Comic-Con and then this happened. It was just like, I think it was just like a recorded thing that was going on.
Yeah, but Tick Tick Boom sends definitely a very powerful message. I feel like if you wanted, I don't know who to recommend this. If you like theater, then you might like Tick Tick Boom if you're a big fan of Rent and Broadway and
Yeah,
stuff
I was
like
gonna
that.
say if you're like a fan of musicals, or if you really like the movie Rent and you want to know more about that or more about the guy that made it, then Tick Tick Boom would
Tick Tick
be
Boom is
a good thing, yeah.
and it's on Netflix. So
yeah, because it's a Netflix original. It's a Netflix joint.
but if you're not really a big fan of musicals, then I would say it's a skip. So
Yeah, for sure. Because
it's not for everybody.
Yeah, I would say that like the whole thing for like Rent by a skip isn't just like, oh, like thinking about the audience member or recommending it to a friend of being like, hey, like if you were to buy this movie, I would recommend that you would buy it.
Right.
It's more in the sense of going like, would I buy it or would I rent it?
Yeah.
So
for me, I'd say it's
like is it worth checking out is the thing.
I'd say it's worth checking out. Like I'd say it's a rent.
Yeah.
But like sort of like a low rent because again
Right.
I'm not the target audience.
Right. It's
I
not
feel
just like oh, like you have to go and watch this movie. Like it's so great.
It's a rent, I
Yeah.
would say.
Right. It's a low tier.
It's a rent
like,
for the
high
guy
skip.
who made Rent.
Right. It's a low rent, high skip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that ballpark.
So I think that's really the only movie that I watched recently because I've been playing a lot of video games as of late.
Yeah.
So,
I've just been focusing on editing the podcast this week. So I've only got like a few things to talk about. So first up on my watch list, I have Black Sheep. So the
Right.
Chris Farley joint comedy. I watched Tommy Boy before, and watching that and then comparing that to Black Sheep, I was talking to a couple of guys that we work with, like Jeff.
yeah.
And so I was talking to him about it, and I go like, there's only like a few like actual memorable parts in Black Sheep that you can think of off the top of your head, like the pullover scene or like him trying to do the campaign and stuff like that for his brother. And then for the opposite of Tommy Boy, because that's more like a family friendly film, and like that movie you can think of off the top of your head so many different bits that are so funny in that movie. Because Black Sheep, it has Chris Farley and David Spade in it, so it's another like duo joint for them, which I believe was like a year after Tommy Boy. And it's just for Chris Farley, he has a brother that's running for governor and for the state of Washington, and he is just so enthusiastic about his brother, of trying to get people to vote for his brother and stuff like that. But he's overzealous with it, so he ends up kind of fucking up all the time. And especially throughout the course of the movie, there's these not reporters, but they're paparazzi that will take photos of him basically screwing around and basically sell it to the press, so that way that like it weakens his brother's chance to becoming governor and stuff. And so like for instance, where he is telling these kids like, hey, like you shouldn't be drinking or smoking pot or doing drugs, and so he ends up like grabbing the beer bottle, and so he starts like dancing around with the beer and like making the silly little song of going like smoking, shooting, snorting, like all that stuff.
Smoking, snorting, shooting, sucking, toking, popping, dropping. Let's do a little dance. Come on.
And then like the paparazzi guy doesn't care what the context is. He just sees that he's with these group of kids and like he's partying with them essentially. And so he goes like, yeah, I'm not gonna take it to the press or anything like that. Or no, he does, because then it goes into the newspaper. And then like even his brother's right hand man that's supposed to be his assistant is basically telling him like, you need to cut out your brother because he's weighing you down. And he constantly tells him throughout the course of the movie like, what have I told you? Stop with my brother. Sure, is he kind of like a ditzy idiot? Yeah, sure, but I love him because he's my brother. And he goes like, family comes first before career, all that stuff. But like it's another Chris Farley comedy, so like he's just doing wacky things, like throwing his body around and stuff like that, and like blowing it out of like proportion of being like he cranks it up to like 12,
Right.
So with his antics and stuff. So but yeah, then David Spade is supposed to watch over Chris Farley to make sure he doesn't screw up, because he's employed by his brother to basically watch over him.
Right.
And then even with his brother's assistant, he tells David Spade, hey, I want you to basically take him away so that way he doesn't fuck up this chance that we have going for us right now. So that's what the whole premise of the movie is.
Gotcha.
But it's hilarious because one of the more like hilarious bits that I always think of is when because Chris Farley has a cop friend, and his friend earlier on in the movie goes like, hey, check what I got, and he's got two giant bottles of Nos in his truck, or not in his truck, in his cop car, and he goes like, yeah, like, you know, this is going to be revolutionary, or not revolutionary, but he just goes like, man, this is going to be awesome, pretty much. And later on in the movie, they have to, like, they find out that the woman that his brother's going against for governor rigged the election. So she rigged the votes by saying like, oh, you know, like, because but Chris Farley goes like, hey, you know, like, I know that there's this specific amount of people in this county, and they're saying that there's way more people in that county. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So then they start doing some digging, and it turns out that she rigged the election by having a bunch of people that were in the cemetery vote for her. So they started falsifying that stuff. So he needs to go from where they're at to Washington to go and stop this from happening, because otherwise she's going to be crowned governor of California and stuff. Or not California. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the governor of Washington. When they're on their way, they go across a construction site, and so they hit a bump of like road that's all piled up. And so it knocks the nitrous out. So one of the hoses is loose. So now the nitrous is seeping into the car. And so they're getting high off of it. And so Chris Farley realizes this, like, oh my God, we're high. And because they're like, they can't say roads or anything. Like they're coming up with words that they can't like pronounce anymore. And they're like, oh yeah, it's one of those funny words. So he gets pulled over and he goes like, hey buddy, like, how's it going? And he goes like, do you know how fast you were going? He goes like, oh, like, I got a couple of NOS tanks in the truck, but, you know, like, I can easily say I can get up to 155, but that's only if I'm checking the cute chick in the Ferrari. Am I right? And so the cop is just deadpan. He just goes like, I'm not fucking, no, this isn't funny. And he goes like, I think I was going like 65 tops. And he just goes like 7 miles an hour. And he goes like, and usually when I pull people over, they pull over to the shoulder. And he's parked cockeyed, like in between the lanes from going opposite directions. And he looks and goes like, oh man.
Tell me, officer, do you have any idea how fast you were going?
Well, I got a 426 Hemi in her. 3/4 cams, nitro boosters. I can get her up to as good as 155. Never do, though, of course, unless I'm chasing a cute chick in a Ferrari. I guess I was going about 65 tops.
7 miles an hour. And normally when I stop people, they pull onto the shoulder.
So it's funny. But yeah, that movie's great. You know, definitely check it out if you haven't. It's super funny. But I would say that Tommy Boy is probably funnier than this one. So, and then next up on my list, I have Playdate from Amazon Prime. It's got what's his name? The guy that plays as Jack Reacher and Kevin James. So it's kind of like an action comedy, but more emphasis on the comedy than the action, because of course of how big the guy is of Jack Reacher.
Are you thinking of John Krasinski?
No, that's Jack Ryan.
Oh. I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
Yeah. No, that's Jack Ryan.
I'll look this up.
So, but I'm trying to think of his name. Alan Richardson. That's who it is. So Alan Richardson and Kevin James, they play as dads, and it's them basically. Kevin James, he has a stepson, and his stepson just calls him dad, and he's more like flamboyant, so he wants to do like dancing and stuff, and so Kevin James wants him to be like into sports. And so like that's where basically he's trying to make common ground with him, essentially. So they go to the park, they're throwing the ball around, you know, like whatever. And then he comes across Alan Richardson, and so he's just like chucking this ball at his kid at full force, and so he's doing the same thing. And he goes like, man, I wish that we were like them. And then they end up like, Alan Richardson ends up like forcing the friendship onto Kevin James. And so then they end up like becoming friends.
Oh, there you go.
And so it's a dumber version of like Hobbs and Shaw and the Wrecking Crew.
Why do we always come back to Hobbs and Shaw, dude?
I don't know.
It's like we gotta find.
It's because it's that shitty like duality of going like two misfit characters are trying to basically work together in a certain way to achieve the goal.
I guess, but like there have been movies before Hobbs and Shaw that have done that though.
Well, yeah, I know, but none of them are like shitty like that though.
I guess, yeah.
So that's the only reason why I bring it up is because of how shitty that movie actually is. Yeah, it just turns out that Alan Richardson like basically quote unquote kidnapped this kid from this facility. And so like there's bad guys chasing after them, and so like they're trying to get away from the bad guys and stuff like this. So and then they're trying to find out like why the kid was in that facility and everything. But like I think it's really funny that Alan Richardson came back to doing like a comedy, even though he's like super big and jacked and everything because of Jack Reacher. Because like the first time that I ever saw him in anything was from Blue Mountain State. He played as Thad Castle, and he plays as like I think he plays as like the safety captain for the football team.
Never seen it.
So it's on Netflix. It's actually pretty funny. But he's just like, he's got the super high pitched like scream that he always does of going like, get out of my house, get out of my house, and like all this bunch of stuff. Like one of the favorite bits I have is when because the whole show is centered around the quarterback of the show.
Yeah.
And he comes in and like he wants to be quarterback and stuff like that. So like he becomes star quarterback. And later on in the series, there's a ditzy girl that like is going to use a condom, and Thad comes in and he goes like, let me see the condom that you're planning on using. She goes like, what? He goes like, show me the condom that you're planning on putting on my quarterback's willy, so that way I know that you're not trying to fuck around with him. And so he takes it out of the packaging, and so he goes like, no, like that's okay, like that's fine. And then he pours a beer into it, and it just like seeps out, so she poked holes in it. And he goes like, yep, that's what I thought. He goes like, get out of my house. And then so he just screams like high pitched, like, get out of my house.
Condoms. Let's see them.
Excuse me?
Let me see the condom you plan on putting on my quarterback's weenie. Oh my God. Yes.
Holy shit! Just put a baby in me, please.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm in love with you.
Oh, good.
We could have a really great life together.
Zip it, psycho! Find another famous person's life to ruin. Get out! Get out of my house!
And like it's really funny.
Okay.
It's a really refreshing take to see him going back into like a comedy, because like he's not taking this super seriously of going like, oh look, there's bad guys, because like when they're in a high-speed chase, he puts on the radio and then like there's this song that comes on. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head, but like they're driving, he's just like, you know, dancing and stuff like that while he's driving, and like Kevin James is freaking out. He goes like, what the fuck is happening? Like there's bad guys shooting at us, they're trying to run us off the road. And then there's just him just casually just like dancing in the car and stuff like that. So
Hands on the wheel! Hands on the wheel! Oh my God!
Okay.
but yeah, it wasn't great. It's an Amazon Prime joint, and like because they skip out on money because of course like you got a greedy like owner of the company and shit like that. So like there's heavy CGI in it and is very fucking relevant. Or prevalent in it, I should say.
Okay.
It's very fucking fake, and you could definitely tell. Like they didn't try to shy from it. It
looks
and
bad.
everything. Yeah, it just looks bad, and it was just boring. It wasn't that funny. Like at times I chuckled, but like most of the time I was just like, this isn't really that funny.
Yeah.
So, and then last up on my list, just like last night, time of recording, I watched the 21 Pilots concert
nice.
live in Mexico City event. So that was actually pretty cool.
They still making music?
Yeah, they just came out with back-to-back albums.
Oh,
so last
year.
See,
I haven't listened to them back since it was like Stressed Out and like
so that would be Vessels. Or no, that's not Vessels. That's Blurryface.
Yeah, Blurryface, and then like when they did the song for Dan Snyder's Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
Heathens.
Yeah, Heathens. Like,
All my friends are heathens.
That's the only
take it
two
slow.
21 Pilots songs that I know. So,
Yeah.
because they were just like Stressed Out was such a huge meme in the
Yeah.
year that it came out. It's just
Right.
like, wake up, you need to make money.
Yeah.
The baby that's covered in peanut butter sitting on the table, just like,
But yeah, I do remember that like everybody was making fun of them and stuff like that. But like they have a huge dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
Is the thing,
I
and
just-
like that's what I think is like great. But they did like this concert movie where they did like they talked about them being there and like where they like if they ever thought about if they were to ever get to this level and stuff like that, and like especially when they were touching down in Mexico City and they were driving around the city to get to where they were going, they talked about that the first time they were ever there they opened up for Paramore, and that was early on when they started making music. And they said like it was a great show, and you know like we had a blast. And then the second time that they went, they headlined their own show.
Nice.
And then and now they're doing it again. So, and this is when like they were on tour and stuff like that. So, and like I love 21 Pilots. I always have. There was a period of my times where I just took a big long gap from them because I was just like, okay, well, I didn't really like this album. Like I always listened to their music. I'd be like, okay, you know, like they came out with a new album, cool, I'll listen to it. And like especially for the last one that came out, Icy Scales, that one wasn't that great, but there's this huge storyline between all of their music and stuff that connects everything together. So, which I won't get into it because it's kind of a long thing. If you guys want to check it out, definitely seek it out for yourself. If you are interested in it, or you are a fan of 21 Pilots and just like didn't know about the lore, check it out.
This is a movie podcast.
Yeah.
We should get back talking about movies.
Yeah, which, speaking of, that's all I had. So, now let's talk about Judge Dredd. The man, the myth, the law himself, Sylvester Stallone joint. So,
I'd always heard about this movie for a long time. I knew of its existence. I knew that it was an action film, and I knew that it inspired a lot of different things. Like, you know, dystopian future.
Yeah.
Like cursed Earth, mega cities, all that sort of good stuff.
Right.
And the where I hear this most often is I like quick side tangent that I've gotten to a little bit of Warhammer 40K.
Mm-hmm.
So which is this again? It's another like distant future, which like basically to dumb it down, it's like a actually I can't really dumb it down, but basically there are these characters in this in 44K. They're loosely they're kind of like how the judges work in this movie, where they're just like judge, jury, executioner. They're space cops, and they go around the galaxy basically enforcing the laws of the Empire, essentially. So like a lot of those characters are like that, and there's just a video. There's a Warhammer game that I'm playing right now that one of those characters is in it, and you see a lot of people like naming their characters after Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I can finally see where all the hype comes from. Is like, is it as good as people tend to say it is?
Yeah.
So
have you seen the remake with Carl Urban?
No, I haven't.
You should watch it.
This is the first one that I'm seeing. So
yeah, you should watch it. It's way better.
Really?
It's way better. Yeah.
Really? You think the remake is better than the original for this case?
Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
And I will tell you why here in a minute.
Yeah, we can get into it, but we should probably just go down the details.
But the other thing, too, I forgot that I was going to mention this. Fuck. So, I've seen this a couple times. So, the new movie Wuthering Heights came out, okay?
Oh, my God.
And it's one of those, like, romantic, like, movie dramas, time period.
Yeah.
Like, joints, right?
It's got Keira Knightley in it, right? No, it's not Keira Knightley.
No,
it's
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie, yeah.
Yeah.
There was another
and
movie
the guy that
with
played as Frankenstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
From the new one, the Netflix one.
I was thinking something else.
But no, so I hate when something like this always comes up, because like there's always always, whenever something like this always happens, okay, something like this comes out, or it's a book or a movie or a show or whatever, there's always a trend that comes out of it, okay, from women. And it's the fact that I've seen two things, okay? One, I saw that, like, I haven't seen the movie, I just know about these things that happen in it, is like when it's raining, he covers her eyes like this with like making like a square shape around her eyes. And I just heard about this from the podcast that I listened to yesterday, where this wasn't even scripted. Like they were in between shots, and so he did that to her because they didn't have an umbrella. And so somebody saw that and went like, "What are you doing?" And so he goes like, "I'm just protecting her face from the rain. Like, we don't have an umbrella, so like I'm just protecting her." And he goes, so they're like, "Okay, don't stop doing that, but do that for this scene at some point." And so like that's what they did, and that's why it's in the movie. Second thing is the fact that she's wearing a corset in the movie, and he picks her up by her corset to kiss her. Now this is becoming a trend as well of being like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy a corset and I'm gonna ask my boyfriend or husband to try to pick me up and kiss me from my corset." Like, not grabbing the string, literally having your hand curled up like underneath the corset and just picking you up and just bring you in to kiss you. That's it.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Right. And a lot of guys, and like this is the thing that happens with women that they don't think about, is the fact that, oh, well, what if my guy can't lift me up? Then I'm going to be sad about it. But I want to try it. And like, you know, it's always like online content. And then it's always just like, well, why can't you do it like he does? And it's like, because Margot Robbie is like 80 pounds in this movie. What are you talking about?
She's very light.
Yeah,
I would say.
So, and I know she's not 80 pounds or nothing like that, but it's also the fact that,
but
like,
she's
the guy's
probably
also like pretty strong, but like every guy thinks, "Oh, I'm pretty strong, I can do that," and then like they try to do it, and then like they can't do it because it's all, especially for me being a gym guy, it's all about like the front raise, the front lateral raise. That's all that it is. So like you're just using your shoulder to pick it up.
That's just, it's so dumb. Like, to me,
it
like,
is.
I have absolutely no interest whatsoever. Even if Annie told me that she wanted to go see it, I'd say no, I'm not going to go see that.
Oh yeah,
I have no interest whatsoever. Even if you want to go see it, which I don't think she does. She's never talked to me about it.
Right.
But even if she did, I'd be like, this is a waste of my time. I don't want to go see that.
Yeah, because even for like the new Scream 7 that just came out, I want to go and watch it, and then so. Even Grace, she goes like, you know, I've never seen them, but like if you want to go, then I'll go. If you want me to go, I was like, okay. So
wait, back to this whole Wuthering Heights thing. So there's actually people who are like doing this whole like thing,
protect my face
for like, or it's girls that are like telling their boyfriends like put your hands over my eyes to be able to see it. Like that's a thing.
It's like, okay, if it's raining and we don't have an umbrella, how would you like protect my face from the rain? And like that's the thing.
We would, well, wherever we're going, we're probably taking a car, right?
Yeah.
And then wherever we're going to book it to get into wherever we're going, because we're not going to be walking outside when it's raining.
We're not going to romanticize us just walking through the rain. Like, I don't want to be wet. You don't want to be wet. So we're not just going to stand out in the fucking rain. Like, are you fucking serious? So
stupid. All right.
But yeah, it was like those two things I wanted to talk about for the new movie, just because I hate trends like that. It's fucking annoying. Stop with this. You're going to get disappointed and sad, and then you're going to fucking like end up holding it as a grudge. So, anyhow, back to Judge Dredd. Back to man shit.
Can we talk about this movie now?
So, bare bones of what the movie is about. It is in a dystopian future, Joseph Dredd, the most famous judge, a police officer with instant field judiciary powers, is convicted for a crime he did not commit and must face his murderous counterpart.
I didn't know his name was Joseph. I thought it was just
Judge.
No.
I thought it was just Dredd.
I thought it was just Dredd.
Yeah.
Like Madonna.
Yeah.
You know?
Or T-Pain.
Yeah, but like now I know his name is Joseph Dredd.
Yeah.
it's like it sounds lame,
Right.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like when because again the perspective that I had of this movie was like, this is just an over the top, like super serious like action film and it's about the nature of like criminality and the law and like all that sort of stuff. But
Right.
no, it's just really kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Pretty much.
It doesn't go deep into like morality as I thought it would.
No.
So,
but let's see. You got director Danny Cannon, got writers Michael D. Luca, William Wisher, and Stephen E. D'Souza. Who Stephen D. D'Souza heard a lot that he does a lot of stuff. I just don't remember what other things that he's like written or anything. Oh, that's why he's done like a lot of just like a bunch of different like early 2000s, 80s, 90s like stuff. So just to give a little bit here, so he did Street Fighter from '94.
Oh,
so
really?
There you go. Another John Claude Van Damme joint is Knockoff, which I've seen. It's actually pretty decent. The Laura Croft movie, Commando. He did 48 Hours, stuff like that. You know,
okay.
Like, so not to dwell too much into his stuff. So, but moving on to cast here. So we got Sylvester Stallone, who plays as Judge Dredd. We got Armand Asante, who plays as Rico, who is his half brother. So, or just his brother.
Yeah.
Who they're
It's
just
not even
clones.
his half brother.
They're just clones.
But they're brothers.
Yeah.
Yes, twins.
Yeah.
But not just any twins. Well, twins linked by cursed genes. It's just Snake and Liquid Snake.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Basically, it's just Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I was not expecting the evil twin subplot.
Right.
I suppose.
Yeah. And then we got Rob Schneider is in Judge Dredd for Fergie.
Rob Schneider, derp.
So
that's another thing I was not expecting to see.
Rob Schneider.
I saw Rob Schneider. I was like, Rob Schneider is in this film?
Yeah, it's so
And
weird.
he
Which,
plays
again,
as a-
I will say more about this.
He plays as a comic relief character.
Right.
And I was like, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah. And then we got Jurgen Prochnow, who plays as Judge Griffin. Max von Sydow is Judge Fargo. Diane Lane is Judge Hershey. And that's pretty much the only people that will actually...
Tell me something.
Yes.
The narration at the beginning of the movie, was that James Earl Jones?
I don't think so.
It sounded like James Earl Jones.
Well, why don't you
let me look this up.
up?
Keep looking through that. I'm going to look this up.
So, but I've only got a few taglines here while you're looking that up. First one is, one man is judge, jury, and executioner. So there's that one.
Yep, I knew it. It was James Earl Jones.
Nice.
He's not credited.
He's not credited.
I don't think he's credited in here.
Yeah, that's what happened with Rob Lowe and Tommy Boy. He did it as a favor, so he wasn't credited in the movie. Which is really bizarre because he plays as a big, pivotal character in that movie. So
weird.
Next one is, one man is the law.
Yeah.
So, because remember, I am the law.
I am the law.
And in the future, one man is the law. A lot of law stuff. So, before we get into the nitty gritty of the movie, I did have a few things that I wanted to talk about here. So,
First some trivia.
Yeah, first thing is that the reason why that this is not more like the comics specifically is because that Sylvester Stallone changed the script a lot while they were doing this. Because here it is, like, I remember them talking about it and stuff like that, but like, just to keep everybody on track, because it's on IMDb trivia if you ever want to seek the stuff out yourself. So in an interview with Sylvester Stallone, he said that the film was supposed to be a comedy action film and demanded rewrites to have it be more comedic. And that's the reason why they got Rob Schneider in the movie, was because he was a comedic actor.
Rob Schneider, derp.
Sylvester Stallone wanted it more
comedic.
More. So, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So even though, and like, you know, it continues to say that, you know, like the director and screenwriter, like they wanted it to be darker and more satirical and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
which is what I was expecting it to be.
yeah, which is the reason why that we have the 2012 remake with Carl Urban. So,
Yeah.
which is that darker, grittier version of Judge Dredd.
I'll have to watch this.
So, which I own it on Steelbook, but I also own it on digital, so you can watch it at your leisure.
Okay.
So which is, again, so good. I think I'll probably watch it after this. Not gonna lie, it just made no sense because like, he just kept making rewrites just to make it more comedic, and it's just like this isn't what we wanted to do, and it goes to show you that like, even from a comic book adaptation, like with Sylvester Stallone more specifically for this movie, it's just like, oh yeah, I want it to be more like this, and it's like, but we're trying to make it more based on the comic books. Why are you trying to make it something that it's not? And
because Sylvester Stallone is a big time Hollywood actor.
But even like
and
back in like
him
the
for
80s
part,
and
so.
90s, he's always changed the script. And like that was always the thing, and especially with him doing the Beverly Hills Cop movie, like he rewrote that script because he was originally casted for that movie, and then he wanted to make it more action oriented instead of comedy. And then they said, no, we're not going to do that. And then they kicked him out, and then he went off to make Cobra.
And then they got Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and then they got Eddie Murphy for Beverly Hills Cop for that. So
still, I need to see that movie. Haven't gotten around to
last
seeing
time I
that.
checked, they were on Netflix, but I could be wrong now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, those are actually pretty funny. I like the first and second one. I couldn't find the third one, but then they came out with a spiritual sequel called Axel F.
Axel F, yeah.
So, which I still need to watch that. I'll watch the third one and then I'll watch that one. So, but yeah, like, and even with the director and stuff, he said that, you know, like out of everybody that he's worked with, Sylvester Stallone is the one person he will not work with because he was so demanding on changing the script every time.
Huh.
So he said that he was even right here it says like he was self-absorbed actor. So that's why he no longer works with like self-absorbed actors like Sylvester Stallone. So,
really?
But yeah, I just think it's kind of freaking dumb. But moving into more specific stuff about the movie, just talking about what we enjoyed about the movie. Like, I love the first half of this movie, not the second half of the movie. So
yeah, I don't want to say the second half of the movie sort of like falls apart. Because there have been movies that we review that has happened, like Doom, for example.
Right, like it
Doom,
just
the
completely
movie just
shifts.
Like, it just completely shits the bed by the end of it, and just like it loses me.
I'm not supposed to.
Then, like, especially in that movie where it just shoehorns everything in of being like, oh look, there's Pinky, and then like there's the first person point of view of like what you would see in the games.
That was cool, but like I feel like it should have been like that the whole time. Like
right.
What's the movie called?
Or
first person Freddy or
Hardcore Henry.
Hardcore Henry, that's what it's called. Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if they were to do kind of like what they do in like video games of being like, okay, having whenever there's dialogue, like a cutscene, and then it goes into like more action stuff, then it turns into like the first person point of view.
But like, yeah, this one, the opening scene is definitely, or the opening, not the opening scene, but like the first, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Is a really good scene, I feel like.
Because like, you know, we get introduced to Dredd and like, you know, him going like, you're under arrest. I am the law.
Yeah, but this movie doesn't,
and stuff like that. Like that stuff is like memorable and that stuff is cool.
It doesn't start out with it starts off with Rob Schneider.
Yeah, it starts off with Rob Schneider getting off this basically the bus, if you will, and him like going to his sector of where he's designated to because he just got out of jail. And then like my favorite bit about that is that like he sees like all of these beautiful women in this pool on top of this building, and he goes like, "Oh no, that's supposed to be like
that's Heavenly Haven.
Yeah, that's Heavenly Haven." And then they're all like, "Yeah, dream on, buddy.
Dream on, buddy."
That's it. I think that's Heavenly Haven.
In your dreams, buddy. Yeah, Heavenly. Hey,
And then so he goes like, wait, what? And he's just like waving. He goes like, okay, bye. And like, you know, this is where the comedic aspect of the movie comes from, is Rob Schneider specifically.
Yeah.
And also the fact that, like, you know, you have Judge Dredd, who's supposed to be deadpan the whole time too. So like, and that was like the whole play on of him being more action, and then Rob Schneider's the comedy relief character. So, and especially when they're trying to get back into the city, when he just goes like, oh yeah, like there's somebody that did this, and Rob Schneider goes like, well, did they ever make it back in? And he goes like, no, they got killed halfway through it. So
so
you know, that's just like dry humor.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like the idea of making Dredd so deadpan, right? But there's still all this like kind of funny stuff that happens around him.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just like it just makes Dredd appear less serious,
right?
You know?
And especially the beginning part of this movie, there's like a few lines of dialogue that I love, which is just like, "I am the law." And like especially with one of the bad guys being there, like shooting at them.
Yeah.
He, like, Rob Schneider is there, and like he's supposed to be living there, and so like they've already occupied his space to like basically riot, because like there's a riot that happens when he touches down, and then when this happens, one of the guys goes like, "Oh my god, like it's Dredd, like oh my god, like he's so scary and whatever," and he goes like. And I have this written down because it's so good. He goes like, if you want to be afraid of somebody, be afraid of me. And just the way that he delivered it, like, it's great.
It's just Dredd. Hey, you want to be afraid of somebody? Be afraid of me.
And like just the whole fact of throughout the course of the movie, Sylvester Stallone, he just keeps going like, I knew you'd say that.
I knew you'd say that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, how do you plead? Not guilty. I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He even says that at the end of the movie
where she goes like, "Oh, there's nothing bad with being human," and he goes like, "I knew you'd say that." Like,
feels good to be human, don't you think?
I knew you'd say that.
It's like, no, the fuck you didn't. Shut the fuck up. You didn't know anything. Shut up.
I was half expecting the end of the movie would just be him flying off.
Yeah.
Like the end
so
of the.
Like,
yeah. But then he like the last final scene is him like looking over like the city.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's like a bad like it's a
Green
just a background
screen.
that's like
Yeah.
kind of crusty looking.
Right.
A lot of CGI. It's that mid 90s CGI that's just crusty. You know?
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I also wanted to talk about like the gun, because the gun is really cool.
The gun is, I think the gun is my favorite part about this whole thing.
If you love the gun in this movie, you'll love it even more in Dredd 2012.
Man, why didn't we watch Dredd?
Because I wanted to talk about this one, because this one is more funny.
Why did we talk about Judge Dredd when we talk about Dredd, man?
Because I wanted to talk about this one first, and then we could talk about Dredd, and then we could compare them. So
that would have been a fun experiment. Is like one of us watches one version of the movie, the other one watches the other one, and then we compare the two.
Right. Yeah. I think that would have been actually a pretty good idea, because like I would have watched the original, you would have watched the remake because you never seen it.
Yeah.
And then we would have compared the two of going like, oh yeah, like, you know, I feel like the common ground would be the way that Sylvester Stallone and Carl Urban kind of do their Dredd personifications. Obviously, with Carl Urban, he does it a lot better than Sylvester Stallone, because for whatever reason, Sylvester Stallone took off his helmet, and he doesn't do that.
I am the law.
Yeah, so
which I thought that delivery was going to go off a lot different, because I'd only seen the picture of him like in the subtitle of "I am the law,"
right, or like the GIF and stuff.
I am the law.
And especially him just like slowly going through each word. And so like, throw down your weapons and surrender.
And surrender.
It's like shit like that.
Also, like the judgments are really inconsistent.
Yeah.
In this one, because it's like he kills some people and then he doesn't kill other people.
Right.
Like it would be funny, like because obviously you can't kill everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it'd
well,
just be,
I mean, like
super boring.
that's the reason why that he goes. That's the reason why that they are called judges, is because that they are the judge, jury, and executioner.
I do like
they of course have their own law that they have to abide by themselves.
Yeah.
But they're the ones that like, okay, like you're warranted for death and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
like they can't obviously they can't kill innocent people.
Right, when he kills like the main dude of the riot stuff, and he goes like, oh, like basically for killing a judge on the street, like what is that, life? And he goes like death. And
I like how like possession of firearms is like 2 years, but then like resisting arrest is 20 years.
Yeah, it's because that if you're resisting arrest in this universe, it's going to be like a lot more.
But like they go on to say in this city that like the city's only supposed to be able to house like 40 million people, and it's like
there's more people that keep
like
coming.
65 million people, so like way over.
I think there's only like 3 mega cities or something like that.
Something like that. Like it's like Mega City 1, Mega City 2, and like I saw the map. It's like one of those like Texas City.
Yeah,
it's like come on. And then it's like the cursed Earth,
because it's supposed to be like post-apocalyptic. That like there's only like 3 what they call as mega cities, and it's just
like the Earth's
a
environment
conglomerate of city just being on top of itself.
And like every other place that's not one of the mega cities is basically like a wasteland.
Yeah, it's basically just like a wasteland of a desert, and like there's the Hills Have Eyes people, mutant people that are in there. So, but yeah, back to talking more about the gun, because like that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the gun.
Like it's voice activated. It's also
voice programmable ammunition.
Yeah, and you also got like your DNA, and nobody else can take it if you're not a judge. So like the random dude finds that out by getting electrocuted to death. So
yeah,
like that's great. But yeah, I just love the way that like they always just like, especially in the Carl Urban one, where they always go like grenade, and so like blows a hole in the wall. And especially when he does it again, like with the guy with the like Ferrari type flying car, and he just goes like, grenade, what are you doing? And he blows up, he goes like, no, and then like it explodes.
Grenade. Happy motoring.
Like he
causes goes like happy motoring and just
like,
runs away.
It's funny that like we never get to hear the repercussions of that, because immediately after he blows up, he gets taken away by the
he gets arrested
by the what are they called? Because they're not judges, they're just like
enforcer guys.
They're enforcer, like that's also really inconsistent too, because like they look pretty similar to how the judges are. They just the judges are more spangly,
right?
But like they're just like jobbers basically. There's a lot of guys in like full body armor that do different things, right?
And they've also got like rifles.
Yeah, so
like fully automatic rifles and stuff. Because like especially like just listed off the stuff that he was talking about for his ammunition. It's just like full auto, rapid fire.
Full auto, rapid fire. Rapid fire.
And it's like, oh man, like that's cool. And
rapid
like,
fire, armor piercing.
Armor piercing.
And it's like double whammy.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. Double whammy.
Double whammy is like the biggest. Double whammy is the biggest one out of Dredd. So like not just like the movie in general, just like as I think it was like in the comics, because I never read the comics. I knew that it was like based off the comics and stuff like that, but I never read them. But like I think that like out of the 2 movies, Double Whammy is like the biggest one that everybody always remembers. Is like rapid fire, grenade, and it's like double whammy, and so like it's supposed to fire 2 shots at once.
Yeah,
which is awesome. And then like quickly after like the huge shootout, like he finds out that fucking Rob Schneider is hiding out in the servo food droid.
Yeah.
Which is just funny because like it's running around. It goes like, oh, servo food is like your friend, and it like I had this written down so that way I didn't forget. It was like eat recycled food. Please. It's good for the environment and okay for you.
Okay, it's like please move out of the way for your friend.
Yeah. And so he's just counting down, and he goes like, I know that you're in there, come out. And so like especially where it's Judge Hershey, she goes like, oh, like this is just a servo droid, like like he's just doing his job, whatever. And then so he goes like, all right, fine. He's like all covered in like fucking spaghetti and shit. Like,
he's eating noodles basically, and it's
He goes like, "Oh, Judge," and he goes like, "Dredd, what the fuck? What are you doing here?"
What a miserable existence that Rob Schneider meets. So like the timeline of events for him is basically he just gets out of prison, right?
And then he's immediately in this riot, and then now he's quote unquote a part of that riot.
Yeah, he gets involved, and then he gets arrested again.
Yeah, and it's not even because like he was a part of the riot or anything like that, because like even Dredd just goes like, "Oh, like you could have," like he goes, "What was I supposed to do?" And he goes like, "You could have jumped out the window." And he goes like 40, like on the 40th floor, that would have killed me. He goes like that would have been suicide. And he just goes like, "Well, it was legal."
They were killing each other in there.
Could have gone out the window.
40 floors? It would have been suicide.
Maybe, but it's legal.
It's legal. Take her away. You are part of the Rebel Alliance and the traitor. Take her away.
You idiots! You've captured their stunt doubles.
And I just got to thinking, like by the end of it, is like what happens to Rob Schneider at this, like after the end of the movie?
Yeah,
because like
he gets shot, and then he's on a gurney, and he
gets taken away. We don't know where he gets taken.
Well, I probably would assume the hospital.
Yeah, but like
even after that, it's like he was still a prisoner, and he left.
Yeah, so like what happens when he gets out of the hospital? He's gonna get some like outrageous like dystopian future medical bill, and then he's gonna have to get shipped back to that horrible block, and then Judge Dredd. There's a lot of questions left unanswered.
Yeah, because like he ends up going like, "Oh yeah, like he's gonna take all the credit, so, like I'm the one that did all this shit." And then
he's like,
especially when he kisses Hershey, he goes like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a better kisser," and shit like that. So again, it's that comedic thing for him. So
it's so weird.
Yeah,
like
and so like I just love the fact that like the cadence between like Rob Schneider getting out of jail and then getting into this riot and then immediately going back to jail. So, and the other thing too was the fact that like he took off his helmet just to have this whole story of him and Rico being like twins. Pretty much.
They don't even look alike though.
No, and here's the thing too is the contacts that they were wearing. That's the only reason why that they did that.
I didn't even notice
that. They don't look similar, right?
No.
They don't look alike. But the eyes, that's the thing. They were both wearing contacts, and that's why.
I did not pay attention to that at all.
Yeah, that's the reason why, especially in certain scenes, like especially in the locker room, where like a lot of the lighting is just focused on his eyes. And that's the only reason why. It's to emphasize that him and Rico are supposed to be twin brothers.
It was too subtle.
Yeah,
it was not clear,
right,
at all. Like
when somebody points it out, then you kind of realize it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense now,
like
type of thing.
And also the picture of him as a baby being fake, and they're going to the explanation of how they did it. It's just like,
wait, this picture, it's something about it is just fake, and it's just like, how can you tell? Oh, like I'll take out all these fake pixels that are in this photo. It's like, wow, the whole picture is fake besides the baby.
That did not age that aged like milk, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
Back in 1995, like the year, like written in 1995, or like probably before that, but like the year 3000, they don't have Photoshop.
Right.
Like nowadays, you can just ask AI to generate a picture for you. It's like there's something that's wrong with this picture. Let me delete all these fake pixels, and it's just him as the baby. He's just sitting on it like with a lab
table or something,
and there's like a lab in the background. Like
but let's talk about the Rico, like him getting out jailbreak scene, because like this is also pretty cool because
reminds me of like X-Men a little bit with how Magneto got out,
because like he has a force field around him, and then like the warden comes in, and it's voice activation of the turrets and stuff like that, because like as soon as he walks in, they ask for voice verification, and so he says his name, he's like the warden, and they go like, okay, voice verification recognized,
thank you.
And then he takes down, I don't understand this at all. So he's talking to Rico, and he's asking him like why he did it and everything like that, and blah 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 and whatever, I think. And then he goes like, here, I have a present for you, and he goes like, well, what does this mean? And then he thumbprints it, and then it opens up, and it shows his badge.
His badge, like,
and it's all like, what is this? Why are you doing this?
I didn't understand this scene. Were they working together or something?
Right,
like
that was
they
the
were
other thing.
A little bit too familiar.
Because then, well, I think it's supposed to be like a present, is what it was. I think.
I guess
because because it was from the one like Judge Guy that's supposed to be the bad guy working in cahoots with him.
Maybe,
I think that he sent it to him.
But like, why you would ever lower the shields and give something to like a maximum security, prisoner who was put away by Judge Dredd.
Right.
Very, very dangerous. Killed a lot of people.
Right.
Why you would ever give him something, and then if the case turns out to be a gun.
Right.
Like really?
Like that's what I think was awesome was the gun, because like it shows a picture of that reporter because like he found out about like the stuff that they were doing.
Oh.
And then like the secret like facility that they were working with to make clones so that way they can so that way that they can make clones and then just have them be judges, and then that way they could just take control of the megacity is what it was. And so but the fact that he just like has it and then he does something to it to where it
transforms it into a gun.
Yeah, transforms it into a gun. He shoots him right in the throat too.
And it's just
so
like auto guns activate. And it's like and
it's actually pretty smart because like he shoots him right in the throat.
This was that was a clever plan.
Yeah,
it's just stupid how
how they go about it.
Like that would never work.
No, not at all. And then he goes to like a pawn shop pretty much in the city. After he escapes, and him doing his maniacal laugh, and then he goes like, "Hey, hey buddy, we're closed." And he goes like, "Yeah, well, you got something.
You have a package for me."
It's like, again, we're closed. Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck
Door's
out.
over there. It's behind you. It's all like, what? Come back tomorrow. And then he goes like, "Hey, like what? Like I know that you guys had an ABC droid," and he goes like, "Yeah, like we had it. It's like an antique thing, whatever, blah blah blah." So that is actually, which I heard numerous things about it because I wanted to refresh my memory, so I looked it up. The ABC like robot is there because it is also a part of that universe, but it's a different comic book.
Oh.
So they don't play with each other or anything like that. It's just a different like I think it was either the company that made that comic. I think it might have been Dark Horse Comics, if I remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but like a certain comic book company made ABC robots and Judge Dredd.
Oh,
so that's the only reason why that's in there is because if they were going to make an ABC robot movie, but then that got shit canned, and then that's the reason why the ABC robot is in this movie.
Oh, okay.
So when Dredd gets arrested, we can talk about this. It's really funny because like when he gets arrested, they're like, "Oh, you're under arrest for murder." And so they just keep replaying the same thing of Rico busting through the door.
And it's super loud.
Yeah, and then like it's like Dredd, and then like he just shoots up the reporter and his wife. And so it's just like Dredd, poof, and then it's like Dredd, It's like that continuously. It's like, why do we keep replaying it? Shouldn't we know it from the first time? This is what happened.
The prosecutor needed to do it for dramatic effect.
Apparently. But I just love the fact. And then like they sentenced him to like being in prison. He goes like, "It's a lie." Because like I had this written down so that way I didn't forget. But he goes like, "It's a lie. The evidence has been falsified. It's impossible. I never broke the law. I am the law."
It's a lie! The evidence has been falsified. It's impossible. I never broke the law. I am the law.
No, like I like this scene is like Hershey is the defense attorney.
Yeah.
At this point, and she's saying like, "Your Honor, this video is inadmissible because it's so crusty. It's such low resolution."
And that's the reason why they introduced the one cadet, because like he was learning about basically Photoshop and shit, right? So
it's just like,
and then they go like, and so she goes like, "I would like to have this piece of evidence be basically looked at by this cadet that has this knowledge of Photoshop."
Yeah, and then she's like, "This evidence is inadmissible because it's so
crusty.
It's so bad and crusty that you can't possibly tell who it was."
Yeah, it's all
even because like he could
has
have been
Dredd.
impersonated.
Yeah, it's just Dredd.
And then the judge is like, "Sustained. This evidence is admissible. I'm ready to rule."
Yeah,
and it's like, well, actually the
gun.
No, the stupid thing is like it could have just been like, oh yeah, the DNA it's DNA bound to whoever uses it. But they go into it further and saying like, oh yeah, whenever a bullet is fired,
yeah, it also has the DNA on it too.
Has the DNA of the person who shot it on it as well.
Which doesn't make any sense because why would that even be a thing?
And we've determined that is Judge Dredd's DNA. It's like lies. It's lies. It's falsified evidence. I am the law.
Yeah.
It's a lie! The evidence has been falsified! It's impossible! I never broke the law! I am the law!
He is just a major crash out.
I am the law.
Let go of me. So, you have, but like, here's another
What's the
thing.
charge? Having a meal, a succulent Chinese meal. This man's touching my penis.
Get your hand off my penis.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hand off my penis!
So, like, in order to save him, because like Fargo is super, like, I don't know if like you're like a son to me.
Yeah.
Dredd is like, instead of putting this man to death, which is how the law works, we should have just slimed him right then and there.
Yep.
It's just like, we're going to retire.
Just,
And you have to do what I say because I'm retiring. Because when a judge retires, we have to go on the long walk.
No, like he was given that option to do the long walk. Because I think that if he does the long walk, that means that he just basically retired. Yeah.
No.
You are right.
No,
I'm just remembering it wrong.
Every time they said in the beginning, like every time a judge retires, they go on the long walk, which is when they go outside the megacity into the wastelands, basically.
Yeah.
So
to give the law
you don't even,
to a lawless society.
No 401k, no retirement, no pension, no nothing.
You get a rifle and a duster, and that's it.
And then
go for a walk.
You get a salute.
Yeah, and you get the 10 gun
We'll
salute.
always remember you.
Yeah.
I like how when Fargo like goes out the door, he like looks back like, oh shit, maybe I should have done this.
Maybe,
but
is
like
it too late to change my mind.
So because he's retiring, the Chief Justice, they have to honor one of his orders, basically.
Yeah, because of his retirement.
And it says like, don't kill Judge Dredd. Make him serve a life sentence instead. Because I'm doing this because I retired. It's like, we will honor your wishes.
Yeah.
And it's like, Judge Dredd, even though you literally killed someone,
you're just gonna spend life in prison.
Like you did like 7 summary executions.
Yeah,
we will not kill you
because of your murderous spree that you went on as a judge, and now this one because you did it as not judge.
No, I'm saying more like, even though we judges like yourself are prone to just being able to gun down people in the street, as we see fit, we're instead going to give you a life sentence,
right?
In the penal colony,
right?
And then like they're on the plane, and guess who's right next to him?
Rob Schneider.
It's Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
I really thought that was the last we were going to see of Rob Schneider, was at the beginning of the film. I did not know he was going to come back.
Nope. And then he's just in it throughout the rest of the movie.
I know. It's just like,
especially when he like has his hand up and he just like has it covering the first part of like the top part of his face. He goes like, Dredd, and then like another guy hears him and he goes like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, you're gonna fucking give me away and you're gonna get me killed.
Because one guy like pulls out a knife, try to stab him, and then they get shot down by
the Hills Have Eyes people, guys, mutants. And like,
look there, Paul.
Yeah, the fact that like when they're strung up and they're introducing like the paw is introducing like his kids, and like Rob Schneider goes like, hi. How's
it going?
Just like he wants to be friendly, and then especially where he just goes like
praise Lord,
praise the Lord, like I've found retribution, and like, you know, seen it from the hills and stuff. And then
so weird, like
and then Dredd just goes like, you know what's funny about your new friends? He goes like, what's that, Dredd? And he goes like, they're cannibals. And he just goes like, what? No. And so
how does he know? I mean
he probably knows about it.
The burned carcass would probably give it away at that point.
Yeah, because then like, it's a shot of like a burning carcass on like on one of those Spitfires.
Yeah. So
but yeah, and like we'll just cut to basically like my last favorite bit was like, because I was falling asleep and I don't care about the ending to it. It's like pretty dumb, but it's just like they go in and now the judges are basically like lawless. They're just killing people just to kill them and stuff.
No,
they're on high alert. That's
no, like Rico starts like murdering the judges.
Yeah. And so like if anybody that doesn't fall in line, like they have to do what they say.
No, I don't even think it's just that. I think he's just killing the judges for like no reason. Even if they like, he's not trying to like. He's just trying to kill the judges so he can replace them with clones.
Yeah, with
basically.
the clones. Yeah, that's what it was. But like I said, at this point I was like falling asleep, so I don't care. But yeah, the last bit that I had was the fact that like they're in the locker room and then Dredd knocks one of the guys out just trying to take his clothes, and Rob Schneider just goes like, "We don't have time for that." And he goes like, "Why are you taking off his clothes?" He goes like, "We don't have time for that," because he thinks he's trying to get all frisky with the guy and whatever. So
okay, do you have any more notes?
No, that was literally the last thing.
I guess I'll since you don't remember the ending as much, I'll summarize it.
Well, I know what happens because it's just basically the they're doing the cloning process, like that's started, and then like the Hershey and the female cohort with Rico are fighting, and
she goes like, "Judge," she goes like, "Bitch." That's Judge Bitch to you. Suplexes her.
Yeah.
Judge bitch.
But what's really stupid is that like when this whole thing starts when Rico and Griffin are trying to take over like the council basically to be able to unlock Janus, it takes all four of the presiding judges to be able to unlock the Janus files.
Yeah.
We gotta see what's in the Janus files.
Right.
And it's like at like not even 10 seconds after they do it, Griffin explains what he's going to do. Is like, I can't allow this. So you shouldn't have used your thumbprint to be able to unlock the stupid Janus files to be able to start the cloning process.
Yeah.
And then later on in the fight, like Rico and Dredd are fighting, and like Rico like basically he like because the clones are being made, they need to take 8 hours to like fully form into like adult humans.
Yeah, because then by the time that Rico wants them to deploy, they're at 60%. He goes like, I don't give a shit.
Do it now. And then instead of like an army of like half-formed clones coming out for him to fight, which would have been really cool, the lab just explodes.
Right.
So like, how'd that happen?
And plus, like, some of them are alive, some of them are dying, some of them are dead.
Why even have that part where he's trying to like get them to come up? As like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
So and like eventually it
He's
ends
a bad guy. It doesn't matter.
Let's see, like they're fighting on top of the Statue of Liberty in her head, and then like Dredd throws him over the side, and then he dies from like fall damage basically.
And then Judge just goes back to work like nothing fucking happened.
Yep.
But yeah, and then like before we actually end it, I did want to, because if JK was here, this is what the stuff that he would have talked about.
Yeah.
So he said that, you know, like Sylvester Stallone was great, like he thought it was amazing. So I was just like, it was okay.
It's okay.
And then like what I already said, like, you know, why did he take off the helmet? Because even in the comics, he doesn't take off the helmet. There's only one time he does, but he's so disfigured that they put a sensor bar over his face.
Yeah. I mean.
So, and then like he said that, you know, like it was pretty cool that they fleshed out the city, because like the city landscape is actually pretty cool in the comics, and they did it really well in the movie. So. I wasn't paying attention for it. And like they also like when the Hills Have Eyes guys, mutants, like they come out, like that actually happens in the comics, is what he said. So because like he's read a lot more of the comics than I have for sure. So but he said like, you know, that's a big part of the comics, the mutants and stuff like that he encounters.
But they they showed like one mutant family,
right?
And then that's it. And then like
and then they go back to the city.
Like what is it, like 95% of the country is irradiated in a wasteland, and we only got to see like a group of one people.
It's only like 4 people.
It would have been interesting to see if he took out a whole like village of these freaks and mutants,
right,
instead of just like 4 guys.
Yeah, right.
You know, so.
But yeah, and then like a couple more things. He said that he wanted to see like more of the judges, like more interaction with judges and stuff like that, because like that's what happens in the comics, and it also happens in the movie as well.
Instead we get one guy, the one guy who gets shot.
Yep.
Even though he's a judge and he's trained to be a judge.
Yep. The cadets, Hershey, the rookie, and the one guy that he knocks out.
The only capable judge here is like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, that's it.
And like all the other guys are kind of suck, and it's like I thought they all received the same amount of training, but
when we
figure out like, no, I've been doing this long, and also Judge Dredd is like this genetically
super
perfect,
soldier guy.
like the perfect judge, basically. He could taken all the DNA of all the council members.
Yeah.
It's so it's really dumb.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's stupid, but
No,
it's
it's stupid.
It's, yeah, but like that's a little bit more harsh. But it doesn't really make much sense when you think about it.
Yeah.
And I wish there would be more. Like I wish there would just be like a team of judges, you know, and that
Right.
Dredd was the leader.
Yeah.
But instead, just like I'm dragging along these two like other jobber judges along with me.
Right.
Even though they're supposed to be like this elite, crime stopping force, you know.
Yeah. And the last thing he had was just like talk about the new one back from 2012 was like the Carl Urban wasn't like afraid to just wear the mask. Like he wasn't afraid to just wear the helmet because like he knew specifically that Dredd never took off his helmet ever. He only took it off once and that was it. And they even censored it. But like,
if Sylvester Stallone didn't take off his mask, we wouldn't be able to see such a handsome face there.
Right. Or be able to see his eyes. That was the whole cadence between them being fucking twins.
I saw the eyes. I thought to myself, does Sylvester Stallone have like a lazy eye or something like that? I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't think so.
So
but,
like that, I think maybe that's why they showed his eyes. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that at all. So.
Right. But anything else on the movie?
No, I think we
before
got
we move
it.
on. All right. So, but yeah, that's the end of Judge Dredd. So now we're going to get into our rating system of this being a rent, buy, or skip. So rent is just an occasional watch. It's all right type of movie. A buy is a fuck yeah type of movie. It is the best of the best of the best. Sir, with honors type of movie. I love it so much. I'm going to buy it on 4K, Blu-ray, Steelbook. I'm going to love it. I'm going to put it on my shelf with the rest of my collection. Or is it a piece of dog shit movie where it's a skip where nobody gives a fuck about it? So, I'll go first. Actually, you know what? Let's do JK's because he actually submitted his.
Let's give his.
So he said that like it's a buy skip or no, it's a buy rent. So he said that if you really enjoy a cheesy 90s action movie, definitely buy it.
Fuck yeah!
Best of the best, sir. With honors.
Otherwise, if you just like to see Sly and just like seeing his cadence and stuff like that, definitely like, you know, rent it. So making that a little short. So shout out to JK for doing his awards. And, you know, if you guys want to do your awards for the show, let us know in the comment section below. So we'll always shout you guys out. So it's a great time. For me, I'll go first. I'd say that it's a buy.
Fuck yeah!
Best of the best, sir. With honors.
Because I actually bought it on digital. I actually bought it on digital. So just because, you know, just like what JK already said, you know, like it's a cheesy 90s flick. Like it's cheesy enough to where I could still enjoy it, but it's still stupid enough that I enjoy it for the stupidity. Granted, you know, like, is it like the comics? No, I haven't read the comics, so I don't give a fuck. So I don't care about that. But like, for me, it's the fact that, like, you know, it's too heavy on the comedy for sure, but it's still silly enough for me to still enjoy it over and over and over again. Kind of like the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's that same like silliness to it, to where it's just like you can't take it seriously. If you take it too seriously, then it's just like, you know, then you lose the plot.
Yeah.
So, but no, like Sylvester Stallone is great in the movie. Rob Schneider is decent, I guess. Not a really decent human being as of right now, but like he's a decent in the movie. So
is there something going on with Rob Schneider right now?
Well, the big pivotal thing for him is that his wife divorced him because now he's MAGA. So
I see.
So
okay.
And even though that he himself is like he's not an immigrant, but he is like person of he's like he's not specifically American is the thing.
Yeah.
So but I think his parents were immigrants. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
So but anyhow, like enough politic talk, but like but yeah, so like, you know, I loved like, you know, Sylvester Stallone going like, I am the law. And it's all like, especially like the halfway point of him getting arrested, of going like the evidence was falsified. I didn't break the law. I am the law.
It's a lie! The evidence has been falsified. It's impossible. I never broke the law. I am the law.
Like that sort of thing. Like, it's great. But then you've also got like the gun, like where him going like double whammy and like grenade and all that stuff. So like that stuff's pretty cool. But you know, like also just like seeing the city landscape is also really great too. So yeah, and like I said, you know, if you take it too seriously, then you know, kind of just like an asshole about it. So
Okay.
I'm not saying that because like you're gonna take it too seriously. I'm just saying that in general, if you look at it out of an objectifying movie, did you have a good time? Yes or no? And it's all like, if yes, it's like, okay, cool. Then you can check out the movie. If not, then it's all like, then why the fuck did you watch it in the first place? So, but yeah, make it kind of short. So now what do you have to say, Jack?
This movie is a low rent for me.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
yeah.
Like, I can't give it a skip because I feel like that's a bit too mean. Like, I don't want to take it like too seriously, like you said. But
yeah, I
just thought it was kind of boring through parts of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like there's points in the movie where I was just scrolling on my phone. I'm like, I don't care. There's nothing happening right now. So
also, I went to dinner through the like before the last 30 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
So like I didn't watch it all the way through. But I was just kind of over it a little bit. It's only an hour and 36 minutes, so it's not like a
It's not long.
But I feel like this is well, I don't know if this was a movie that would have benefited if it was a little bit longer run time or not. But the movie is very confused about what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Is it wanting to be a serious action movie or is it an action comedy?
Well, again, you can blame Sylvester Stallone for that.
Yeah,
because
so,
like he's the one that going like, oh, we need to make it more comedic. And it's like, fucking why, dude?
So,
but again, you know, like there is a serious version out there right now, and I have it, and it's Dredd.
So it makes me kind of wish that we watched Dredd instead.
Yeah.
So,
which we'll talk about Dredd. I definitely want to talk about
we can talk about Dredd if people want to see that. But for me, I found it kind of boring and like if I think about it, the reason I'm giving this like a kind of a sort of rating is because there's just so many better action movies to watch in the 90s. Like
Street Fighter.
Well, not like Street Fighter, but like Die Hard or like. Or if you're talking like an old style action movie with like a buff actor, just watch Terminator.
Yeah.
Like Terminator 1 and 2.
Old 80s, 90s joint of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, that's true as well. But like I just feel like there's better ones for you to watch.
Plus, there's also better Sylvester Stallone movies than this one, like Rambo or, well, I guess that one's more like towards like the tail end of the 70s, I think. But like there's Rambo, there's Rocky, Cliffhanger,
like Predator as well as like a good movie to watch. Speaking of Predator, our review of Predator Badlands came out either a week or a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
if you want to watch that, it's a great movie by the way. We really enjoyed it.
It's a great movie. I'm going to be posting a clip here pretty soon. As the time of recording.
But yeah, this one is just sort of like it's like bordering on a skip for me, just because I don't think I'll watch it again. I'm like, cool that I can say that I've seen it now, but it's really not worth your time if you're really into action movies, unless you want to see Sylvester Stallone. Like you have to see every single Stallone movie, but like just watch Rocky.
Yeah,
I'd say
true.
Or go watch Spy Kids 3.
Yeah,
with
3D.
Stallone in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got for Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Not much to say.
Yeah. All right. So now we'll move on to suggested people, which is just where we go into IMDb, have a 1-10, sometimes both star review on the website, and see what other people have to say. So
let's do a both star review this time around, because we were kind of on like we had a lot of different reviews, because like JK said it was a buy or a rent, you said it was a buy, I said it was like a borderline skip.
Yeah. So
I want to see like both sides of the spectrum for this one. I'm kind of curious.
Okay. Which I'll have to do a 10-star review, so give me 1 second. Alright, so first up we have a 1-star review. This guy says, not what was required.
Huh? Oh, he's probably talking about how it wasn't a good adaptation or
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay, so I'm biased. I'm a big fan of the comics this excuse for a movie were based on, and this movie falls short in replicating the action, the feel, and the pathos of those comics. Sly was all around for the role for Judge Dredd, and he removed his helmet? No! The plot was cobbled together, but many different stories and characters from many different eras were all thrown together in a weak movie. What worked? The opening block war was cool, as was the ABC Warrior. Beyond that, this movie fell way too far short. Which I'm not going to deny. Yes, all
Like,
of
that was
stuff
actually
is
a well
true.
kind of put together review, even though it's like a 1-star. 'Cause some of these 1-star reviews are just sort of
Not enough action. Big
nonsensical.
dumb, like
Yeah.
stupid.
Big dumb.
Yeah, big dumb. So, but yeah, no, like I definitely agree that, like, you know, Sylvester Stallone wasn't right for the role. He took his helmet off. You know, like there's just certain things that just didn't work, like all the comedy bits.
If
and
you're
stuff.
a huge nerd and you even know the existence of the Judge Dredd comics, then this is probably not going to be a very good adaptation for you to be able to watch.
Right. So, and then because we kind of just threw this in last minute because I didn't even think about doing a 10-star review, so we'll talk about this one. Sylvester Stallone is Judge Dredd. So now we're on the other side of the spectrum.
Okay, let's take a look at this.
Where, you know, hey, he was a Judge Dredd. Now he is Judge Dredd. He is the law.
Yeah.
I am the law. Judge Dredd is a very good film. Sylvester Stallone is Judge Dredd. He played this awesome character awesomely. James Remar, Diane Lane, Max von Sydow, Armand Asante, Jurgen Ponchno, Scott Wilson, Joan Chen, and Rob Schneider were all good. The costumes and action were terrific. The ABC robot was fantastic. The music by Alan Silvestri is tremendous. In my opinion, Judge Dredd is an underrated and misunderstood film that deserves a lot more than it has received. The movie is a must-see.
You said
these were also a year apart from each other because the bad one was from 2003. This one was from 2004.
You said nothing.
Pretty much. He just said that the movie was great. That's it.
You said you just listed off the entire cast and then said they were great.
Hey, don't yell at me. Yell at that person, all right? Jeez, this wasn't me.
You just, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that so much.
He just basically said, like, oh, everybody did
You
a good
could've
job.
just, like,
everybody gets a gold star
in the cast,
today.
Everybody in the cast of the film was in this film.
Yeah. They did a good job. Everybody gets a gold star.
Very specific. At least the 1-star review was specific about what was good and what wasn't good.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
but
dumb. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know, but anyhow,
That's the end of Judge Dredd.
Anything else?
Nope.
Cool. So again, thank you everybody so much for watching, listening, tuning in, however you guys are doing it. Really appreciate you being here. Again, be sure to follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcasts, Instagram, and on TikTok. Be sure to like, share, all that cool stuff.
I want you to tell all your friends about me.
And be sure to rate us on all that stuff too, because we really appreciate that as well. Get more eyes on it. Get more people listening. However you guys do it. And then next week we'll have something new. So be sure to stay tuned for that for next week, whatever that may be. So
We'll have to see. We don't even know yet.
Yeah, we got a list of movies. We're going through them, so we're just like kind of just seeing what we want to talk about. So, but
put in the comments a movie that you want us to see.
Yeah,
we'll check it out.
Suggest a movie for us to talk about, and we'll talk about it. So, but yeah, with that being said, bye.